Remember our song?
Yep.
Okay. Virgin Mary had a baby boy. Virgin Mary had a baby boy. Virgin Mary had a baby boy. And they said his name was Jesus. Angels sang when the baby was born. Angels sang when the baby was born. The angels sang when the baby was born. And they said his name was Jesus. The shepherds saw when the baby was born. The shepherds saw when the baby was born. The shepherds saw when the baby was born. And they said his name was Virgin Mary had a baby boy. The Virgin Mary had a baby boy. The Virgin Mary had a baby boy. And they said his name was Jesus.
On the 5th day of Christmas, my grandma gave to me 5 pairs of socks.
Nice, Caleb. I've never heard a song like that before.
Sorry, I didn't hear you come in.
It's okay. I got here a little bit early. Your mom told me you're back here. So, now I'm kind of curious how the rest of the song goes.
You know, my family, I really love them, but let's just say Christmas at my house is a little different from most.
It's probably not as different as you think. My family has some traditions too. Well, it don't include socks. So, how many do you think will be here for the party tonight?
Oh, I don't know. I would be surprised if nobody showed up.
Really?
Party at a math teacher's house sounds like a thrill minute. I couldn't believe it when my mom said she volunteered the house for the party.
So your mom's a math teacher. What's so bad about that? And besides, most of us have had her already, so we already know.
Exactly. You already know. She's math all the time.
And speaking of time...
Oh, boys! Boys, isn't this so exciting? Caleb and Victor! Oh, don't you think it's time we get this party started? Started? I think we should get the party started. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, hello. So, though, there won't be any quizzes tonight. Yes, quizzes. There won't be any quizzes.
Wait, you're telling us there's no math tonight?
Oh,
Yes!
oh, no, I'm not saying that. Oh, Peyton, you know me better than that. I didn't say there'd be not any math tonight.
Is she serious? I knew I shouldn't have come. She's gonna take my favorite party of the year and ruin it with math.
Count on it.
Ruin it. Mrs. Marlin, I've always loved your class at school, and I believe this will be one of the most unique Christmas parties we've ever had.
Except for the time we made Christmas trees out of pieces of food and the dog ate it.
I suppose that was unique, but tonight sounds different. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, exciting. That's exactly the word I was thinking. Maybe after all this, we can go to the front yard and watch the snow melt. Yeah, that'll be exciting too.
I think I'm with Dylan on this one, Mom. I mean, I've read the Christmas story a lot of times and haven't read one thing about that.
Oh, now, Caleb, dear son, I think you better go back and read Luke chapter 2 again. The very first sentence has math in it.
Oh, Miss Marlin, please tell us. Oh, tell us.
Yes, by all means, tell us.
Oh, Peyton, you just made a math joke. Did you hear that, kids? A math joke. Mean is actually the collection of numbers divided by the number of numbers in the collection.
Yes, Miss Marlin, and timing is everything.
Oh, all right. Let's get back to the Christmas story. Now, can any of you tell me, why did Mary and Joseph have to travel to Bethlehem in the first place?
I'm guessing it wasn't to study math.
No, Peyton, you're right. It wasn't to study math. You see, Caesar Augustus had issued a decree that the whole entire Roman world needed to have a census taken. Yes, a census. She's right. You know?
Well, she's right, you know. I'd forgotten all about that part of the story.
Okay, a census, and that means...
It means everybody had to be counted. And to make sure of that, they sent everybody back to the city they were born in.
Surely there had to be an easier way.
Is there something that we're missing? Something I'm thinking about? What's the reason for a census? Can someone help us figure it out? Students have a lot of trouble counting up the numbers. We just have to think about it. We just have to wonder. What sense does a census make? Is it worth the time and trouble it takes? Just to be counted for Caesar's sake. What sense does a census make? What sense does a census make? Try to just imagine the kind they counted people back then. There's no fuzziness in number. Did they have to start all over again? Did they register their name by signing on it on a paper? How did they do all that math without a calculator? What sense does a census make? Is it worth the time and trouble it takes? Just to be counted for Caesar's sake. What sense does a census make? What sense does a census make? What would Mary and Joseph say if you asked them? They traveled from Judea to Bethlehem. We don't know for sure whatever all they went through. We have to believe they were wondering too. What sense does a census make? Is it worth the time and trouble it takes?
introduce her to everyone.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Marlin. This is my friend Haley. Her and her family moved here a couple months ago from Virginia. She wanted to come based on what I told her about this party.
Great.
I'm glad I came, but I must say this is quite different from any other Christmas party I ever been to before.
Ha! What was your first clue? The fact that invitations were done on graph paper with coordinates rather than an address.
Or that all the plants have square roots.
That's very funny, Peyton. But trust me, I've heard all your jokes before. So before you ask, no, we're not going for vacation to Times Square, and we're not eating dinner at the multiplication tables.
Okay, those are kind of funny, but I was talking about the Christmas tree. Normally have lights, pencils, or something on them.
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that, Haley, because that's one of the things we're going to do today. But first,
First, we're gonna sing some Christmas carols.
And have some pie?
Dylan, don't you know never to say pie in front of a math teacher?
yes, we're going to eat, and yes, we're going to sing some carols. But first, I have a special equation for us to solve.
A special equation? Be still my heart.
Oh, Peyton. So you see what we're going to do. First, we're going to take the height of the tree and multiply it by the base. And then we're going to multiply by 3.14 and find the square root. And then that is going to help us determine the ornaments to lights to tinsel ratio. Oh, doesn't that sound exciting?
Fa la 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 la.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Marlin, it does. Do you have a name for it?
I do indeed. I call it trigonometry. I'm sure that
No, I am best at this.
not so loud, right? We're gonna
Got all our decorations out. We got everything we need. But we can't start until we solve a simple mystery. Is there a way to calculate just how many lights it takes to fill the Christmas tree? We know the answer has to be trigonometry, the study of the tinsel and the lights. Chart the evergreen, find the formula to get it right. Is it greater than or less than a true isosceles? The only way to know with certainty is trigonometry. All these polygons and parallels, it's just so hard to see. What does it have to do with how we decorate the tree? Factoring the multiples, integers and decimals, make us learn a trick, to make us learn arithmetic. Trigonometry, study of the tinsel and the lights. Chart the evergreen, find the formula to get it right. Is it greater than or less than a true isosceles? The only way to know with certainty. Trigonometry. Trigonometry.
What a lovely tree. Lovely.
Yes, it looks absolutely beautiful.
Well, I have to admit it. There may may be something to this trigonometry after all.
And that is just a fraction of it. Oh, see what I did there? Fraction of it. Now, did you know that you can apply these same mathematical principles to wrapping presents? So what you do is you find the base multiplied by the height, and you can find the volume of the gift.
Your presents have volume?
At our house, we just use extra tape. A lot of tape.
I think we're just missing something. I think we need to put the irregular polygon on top.
Huh? Irregular polygon?
I think she's talking about the star.
Indeed, I am. Would you like this? The star, the irregular polygon. It's your tape. Don't fall off here. Oh, a party with children. Good thing they're plastic. Okay.
So Caleb, sounds like you're pretty good with all this math stuff. Pretty cool, huh?
Pretty cool. Well, I suppose there are some benefits growing up in this house.
And like Mrs. Malik said earlier, there's a lot of math in the Christmas story. For example, Mary and Joseph had to travel 90 miles from Nazareth to Bethlehem at an average of 10 miles a day.
Uh-oh. I feel a logic problem coming on.
Oh, now, Peyton, dear, don't worry. As much as I love math, the whole Christmas story is based around an irrational equation.
Caleb?
She means there's no logic to it. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, she's right, you know. The whole idea that God loved us enough to send his one and only son down to earth is just amazing. How he did it was irrational. He deserves way better than being born in a cattle stall and being wrapped in swaddling clothes.
I guess that's where faith comes in. It's trusting what we can't understand or figure out on our own.
Well, that should be easy for me. I never have been able to figure out math.
Well, Dylan, the good news is you don't have to. God already did the hard part.
No math? Then count me in.
Sure changes how you look at Christmas.
If God could take a simple girl and use her faith to change the world, I wonder could he use someone like me? And if he would call some shepherd men to leave their flocks and follow him.
turns out, I'm kind of glad we had the party at my house.
Hey, Ashley. I've got a math question for you.
I can hardly wait. What is it, Peyton?
How do you make 7 an even number?
Peyton, even you should know 7 is an odd number. How do you make 7 an even number?
Erase the S! Get it?
Well, I think it's time to sing some Christmas carols. Oh, have I ever told you my favorite Christmas carol? It's the only carol that revolves around a prime number.
Caleb?
She means we three kings. She always gets there by her own road.
Yes, Miss Mallow, but my favorite Christmas carol is Joy to the World. Can we sing that one, please?
Oh, Joy to the World. Yes, you think we could sing that? Yes, yes, we are going to sing Joy to the World.
When we hear the Christmas story, it's so hard to understand it. The way that Jesus came, the way we would have planned it. This king in a manger wrapped in sweet clothes, it's not how the story should go. Just like God to take an ordinary stable and fill it with the glory of the Lord. Only God would fill the heavens with his angels to tell us the Savior was born. When we put it all together, we get a better picture of just how much God loves us. And it all adds up to a very, very, very Merry Christmas. We got the joy, 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 joy. We got the joy, 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 joy. We got the joy to the world. The Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. But it's just like God to take an ordinary stable and fill it with the glory of the Lord. Only God could fill the heavens with his angels to tell us the Savior was born. When we put it all together, we get a better picture of just how much God loves us. And it all adds up to a very, very, very Merry Christmas. When we put it all together, we get a better picture of just how much God loves us. And it all adds up to a very, 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 Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas!
Absolutely. Can they talk for a minute? I don't know. Can I keep you from talking
We
for
would
a
like
minute?
to thank Mrs. Tammy and Mrs. Dice for all the work that they have done for us.
Merry Christmas, family.
I just want to know if she was that crazy before she started the musical. One coffee. It just takes one coffee. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I hope the sum of all of it makes an equation. No, I'm not going to go with that anymore. It's a great, great thing. Kids, you did great. Young. I think we almost had some teens in there. If you get to the point, there's a certain point you get in life, and you just enjoy watching the energy of other people. hoping that you can get a little of that yourself. And I hope you experience that at this Christmas time, this Christmas season. I want to thank the ones that work very hard to make our music program work for the children. I got a couple ideas I want to share with you really quickly. We're not going to be here long with this. I just want you to contemplate something about Christmas maybe you haven't thought of too much before. And it really is the idea that Christmas mixes a lot of different things together, a lot of different kinds of people together. We've got all kind of ordinary people. We have people from every part of life. The shepherds, what were they? Were they rich or poor? Probably pretty poor. They may have actually been young boys, actually. And where did they live? Anyone know? Probably right around Bethlehem, right? They didn't have to travel very far at all. Matter of fact, it looks like they just had to go maybe just a few kilometers to run and find this baby wrapped in swaddling clothes. Poor, probably kind of dirty, not really highly looked upon in society. And then we have another group. We have magi or wise men. Where did they come from? Does anybody remember what the Bible says? They came from the east, far away. They traveled for days and days and months. And were they rich or poor? They were rich. They brought treasures of, remember what was in the treasure? Gold. Say it out loud. Frankincense, whatever that is, and myrrh, whatever that is. We don't use any of that stuff anymore, but it sounds really expensive. And so instead, we got really, really poor guys, and then we have really, really important, rich people traveling from a long distance away. And then we have Mary. Who was Mary? Was she young or old? Well, it depends on your age, but she was pretty young. What was she? Where was she in life? She was really excited because she was engaged. Anybody that spot where you're thinking, man, it's just a few months away and I'm going to be married? She was in a kind of a chaotic moment in life, right? And all of a sudden, we have the next people in the story, these angels. So we don't even just have human characters in this story. We have kind of angelic characters in this story. People from all parts of life, all kind of different people, all surrounding this one small baby. It's really interesting that God came for everyone. It doesn't really matter who you are, whether you're really young, maybe just a child today, or whether you're kind of more like me, a little bit older than that. That's an equation problem right there. Might be a little bit advanced math. It doesn't really matter where you are in life. Jesus came for you. I want you to just kind of wrestle around with that. Christmas isn't just for children. If that's kind of how it's become at your household, where it's just kind of this fun thing that kids do and we do with kids, we're kind of missing the point. Christmas is for all of us. I want you to think about what Mary said. When the angel comes to her and he says this, "Don't be afraid, Mary, I have found favor. You have found favor with God. You will conceive and give birth to a son, and you are to call him Jesus. He will be great and will be called Son of the Most High. The Lord God will give him the throne of his father David. He will reign over Jacob's descendants forever. His kingdom will never end." And then Mary says these words, "How can this be?" Now there's an equation. How can this all be? Now, she was talking about how can that be because I'm not married yet, but there's a lot more to this. How can it be that I'm talking to an angel? How can it be, as she kind of figures it out later, how can God become one of us and dwell with us? And how can all of this be? And admit to me that that is still kind of confusing. How can God get all wrapped up in a little baby? Even the spiritual realm is involved in this moment. All focused on this little boy. And let's admit, he was probably a normal-looking little boy. If you got a little nativity set at your house and there's a little hay bale thing and it's got a little glow around it, you know, like there's some kind of special light on Jesus, it probably wasn't like that, was it? Matter of fact, the only thing that we have pointing out that was kind of a light was a star, and to be honest with you, it only appears that very few people even notice it. They had to be looking for it. And so what we end up with is Christmas is this kind of conglomeration of normal, everyday birth of a baby and extraordinary things, angelic things, divine things. And let's admit that it still kind of feels like that. I don't know if it's happened to you yet. I hope it has. But if not, I hope today gets to be a part of that. If you've been shopping and busy and just working, and maybe you've had tragedy or really difficult things in your family, I understand that. And it's really easy to just kind of get just motoring through Christmas, just trying to get it done. I want to encourage you right now to stop all of that busyness and think for a few moments of this miraculous event that somehow still speaks to our hearts today. It still speaks to our hearts. It causes things, even in people who don't know Jesus, to be more charitable, to be more peaceful, to be more relaxed. Maybe not everyone, but a lot of people do. And I think it's because this moment still speaks to our hearts of where beauty and divine intersect with our normal day-to-day life. It's something beautiful, something holy. Maybe we might use the word even sacred. And somehow that breaks into our life, our day, our month called December. I want to encourage you today to let that happen to you even now. There's going to be another song, and it's a strange way to save the world. I want you to just wrestle around with it for a moment. If you were going to save the world, how would you do it? My guess is it wouldn't be this way. It seems so normal, so human, and yet, in some ways, so divine. It must be a great way to save the world.